New Gujarati ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ।
Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and good evening. Before we start our webinar today, I request you all to please mute your mics and turn off your cameras for a smooth session throughout. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat box. All of your questions will be answered at the end of this session. Thank you. So I will start by thanking you all for joining this webinar. And my name is Manu Jamal, and I'm an associate at Khatana's Law Chamber. I'll be your host and moderator for today's session. It's my pleasure to moderate today's session alongside Mr. Adil Razik, who will be assisting me throughout the session. So, sir, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello everyone, my name is Adil Razik Bhagat and I'm an associate at Khatana's Law Chamber. I've been working here for 7 to 8 months and have had the chance to work with my seniors on many cases. From NHA arbitration to cross-border matters, the experience has been amazing and full of learning. I'm truly grateful to KLC for providing such valuable opportunities. Our firm KLC has been committed to offering training programs for law students and lawyers for several years. Today, we are excited to launch a new series of webinars on various contemporary legal topics. This inaugural session will focus on AI and technology, a subject that is shaping the future of law and innovation. Today, we are very thankful to our speakers, Mr. Adam Jabbar and Mr. Waqas Ahmed, for joining us. Mr. Adam Jabbar, who is a corporate and tech lawyer, best-selling author and co-founder of Your Munshi, Pakistan's first AI-driven legal assistant. He authored ChatGPT for lawyers, 101 practical prompts and advocates for digital rights, data protection, and automation of the legal profession.
And we have our second speaker, who is Waqas Ahmed, co-founder of Your Munshi, Pakistan's first AI-powered legal assistant platform and country head of its operations, driving innovation in legal technology. He is also the CEO of Atom Global, a leading technology solutions company specializing in AI and IoT applications. With over 15 years of experience across four continents, Mr. Ahmed has spearheaded initiatives like the launch of Pakistan's first locally assembled lithium-ion batteries, showcasing his commitment to leveraging technology for progress and inclusive developments. So this was a brief introduction of our speakers. Now I request both of the speakers to please introduce yourselves to the audience.
Well,
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Yes. So, my name is Waqas Ahmed, and as Mahnoor just very overbloatedly explained my profile. Very humbly, Allah has been very kind that I've been able to be part of Pakistan's tech shape up. Uh, uh, well, I'm also thankful to Katana's Law for making this webinar possible and enabling the legal tech, the legacy legal industry to adopt towards the new technologies and modern techniques in getting the things delivered. What we have done is that we have actually added a little bit of our effort to make Pakistan stand better in the global arena of legal services, improve its legal rating globally, and adopt technology to facilitate the citizens of Pakistan with the laws of Pakistan. So our AI platform is one of the pioneer platforms in Pakistan, which is built independently of any third-party APIs or any other technologies. We built it from scratch up, and it deals with only Pakistan's law. It does not take anything from the internet. So have trust that whatever it will tell you, that will be authenticated and validated. And above that, we are just trying to facilitate and improve the lives of people, because every person gets exposed to law one way or the other every day. So this was our humble introduction, and Mr. Adam Jabbar can continue.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
For all of you who don't know me, my name is Adam Jabbar, and I'm a practicing lawyer based in Islamabad. I specialize in technology laws, and along with that, I am the co-founder of Your Munshi, as Vikas Bhai said, Pakistan's first legal AI platform, specifically trained on Pakistani laws. And I've been also managing the legal affairs of the company. First of all, I would also like to extend my thanks to Khatana's Law Chamber for always providing such wonderful opportunities for not just for us but for everyone. And we always learn from these webinars, and these are, I think, very essential in this date, because as जहाँ तक अभी तक बात है, अभी तक technological developments legal industry में there are not many opportunities like this, but Khatana's, मैं आप सबको ये बताना चाहूंगा that Khatana's Law Chamber is also the proud partner of Your Munshi. So they have taken the initiative with us and they are part of our family. सो आई एम रियली थैंकफुल टू देम कि उन्होंने हमें इस प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ सपोर्ट किया है, एंड जो हमारा एक्सेस टू जस्टिस इनिशिएटिव है पाकिस्तान में, कि सारे लॉयर्स को और जनरल पब्लिक को एक्सेस टू जस्टिस मिले, सो खतानाज लॉ चेंबर इज गिविंग अस अ बिग पुश फॉर दैट. सो थैंक यू फॉर दैट.
Thank you so much, both the speakers, Mr. Adam and Mr. Vakas, for your kind words and for taking out time from your busy schedule. Without further delay, I would like to start the session. Mr. Vakas, I would like to ask you what inspired you to create your Munshi and how do you envision it transforming the legal profession?
Well, that's a very interesting question, I would say. Um, it all started back in 2015 when I got the opportunity to work on Pakistan's first judicial automation initiative. It was the judicial automation of Lahore High Court. That was one of the flagship projects, and Alhamdulillah, I got the opportunity to work with the best of the minds in Pakistan on that project. Um, that actually gave me an in-depth knowledge of how law works in courts and in the in, and you know how lawyers actually make it work and how courts utilize that efforts and make it take it towards conclusive decisions. That knowledge base gave me a very different vision and view of how we can make things better in our societies. So I kept on working on that. So after that project, I got the opportunity to work on some international judicial automation projects in US and Middle East. So that further added to my knowledge that how we can actually enable the law to work in correspondence to the international practices and adopting best practices in Pakistan to make it much more better for the end litigants and the petitioners. So in 2023, it was one fine evening. Uh, we, four of us, we are personal friends as well. So we were just sitting and having a cup of tea. So we were talking about that how we can actually improve things around us. And this idea popped us that why not utilize the modern tech of AI in implementing the law for the betterment of a common person. So we took that idea, we started working on it, and it was a long journey. It was not an easy at all. But Alhamdulillah, we went through all the ups and downs. And today, we can actually see that how it is helping people because we have been witness of lots of change in the legal diaspora around us that we have met people who have got the benefits of your munshi just by having the access to right knowledge at the right time. Just this one factor created so much difference that lots of people are getting their issues resolved on time. They are carrying the right set of knowledge so that they can communicate with the legal experts in the right way and actually reduce the journey towards getting the right access to justice. So this was the brain behind this. That this inspiration actually took us all the way. That you know we all personally, we all face different legal challenges, and we've been through all this. Especially personally on my side, I've seen a legal challenge of my mother, that how difficult it was to resolve that. It was just a small dispute of a piece of land, and how it made our lives and nights into a nightmare. Uh, so that actually came up that okay, if I'm being through all this, having all the resources, having all the right knowledge and everything, if I have to go through all these tough challenges, what would be the lives of a common person who is getting exposed to law, and what must they be experiencing out of it, and how we can improve that. So we just added our you can say 1 cent into that, that okay, let's take the first step. Let's start using the technology to resolve the issues and make lives better for the people. Because we strongly believe that any technology which does not delivers the social improvement is may not be the right choice that we should be spending our time on. So we chose a technology which actually delivered the right social impact. So we are just moving in that direction, and this was the inspiration behind all that.
Mr. Waka, that is really inspiring that you created such a software which is helping a lot of young lawyers in their research and case preparing or drafting. Can you please explain in detail how your Munshi is structured and the primary features it offers to legal professionals?
Okay, so um, there were two approaches that we came across with. One was a short distance approach where we could have launched our product very quickly and grasped a bigger market very quickly. But there was another approach which demanded a longer pathway, much difficult steps to be taken, much more effort to be required. But that was much more promising and much more long term. So our easiest path was that we could have taken an if the tech people in this call who can understand this, that we could have taken an API of any existing AI platform and just start giving them the queries irrespective if they are right or wrong. That was very easy to do. It was just a month's task to build our own AI application and get going with it. But we took a longer route. And on that, we started building our own AI from the scratch. So we built our own AI platform right from zero, and we developed and we customized our own language models. We developed our own AI engine. With that, the challenge came up that how are we going to train this model on Pakistan's law? So we then started working towards acquiring the right set of knowledge. We went to government, we went to courts, we went to various other institutions to collect the right information. And well, thanks to all of them who helped us in getting the access to right and up to date knowledge. So we collected Pakistan's complete law code. We collected a huge collection of judgments of all the high courts and Supreme Court in Pakistan. Then we started digitizing that information. Then we came across lots of challenges in digitization because the paper problem in Pakistan is very difficult to handle. Uh, as a nation and as professionals, unfortunately, in Pakistan, we don't know how to handle papers. So that was the biggest challenge for us, that to get the information out of those paper-based judgments and law code and lots of other information to be useful for AI to learn and train itself. But we went through all this. We put in all the efforts, we put in all the investments, whatever was required. We brought in the right experts, we engaged with them, we collaborated with them wherever it was necessary. So we did all what was required to be done to make this happen. And right now, Alhamdulillah, we can hold our heads high by claiming that we are the only platform in Pakistan who can correlate your legal matter with the exact law code provision in Pakistan. Number one. Number two, we can correlate it with the relevant judgments which have already been tried out in at different levels in the courts, all the way ranging from 2024 back till 1947. Then we are the only ones in Pakistan who have trained our AI platform to write the documents for experts and for users as well. So our AI platform is capable to draft legal documents based on the information that is being searched out and that is being asked. So it drafts the legal documents based on the Pakistan's legal requirements, Pakistan's legal language framework, and for the relevant audience which are meant to be addressed in that document. So these are key things that we did. So now for the legal professionals, they can actually perform their case law research very easily and very quickly. They can actually perform their case preparation in terms of preparing their argumentation for different courts, argumentation for preparing their petitions, and negotiating and communicating with the courts. They can also get their legal drafting done very quickly and just on few clicks. Then, being the legal professionals, you can actually start addressing your own customers very easily in terms, out of court legal management. Like, for example, you need to write any kind of business contracts, you need to do any kind of mediation, you need to do any kind of contract reviews, any international contract reviews, any compliance of transactions and things like that. So all this can be done in your Munshi platform, and it is trained for all this. So this is what our structure is, that for the legal professionals, they can actually get their law work done through it in terms of case law research, in terms of case preparation, in terms of legal drafting. And other than legal professionals, for business users and for the students and for a common person, they are also getting the right benefits out of that. For example, I am an entrepreneur. If I need to deal with certain kind of taxation in terms of import or custom challenges or anything, I don't know how to look for it. I don't know how to scroll it. But your Munshi made it very easy for me to just mention my problem in layman terms, and it can actually start guiding me towards the right set of knowledge. And with couple of queries, I get the exact right knowledge of what I was looking for. And we have actually witnessed it with various business experts in Pakistan and even in the international community who are dealing with the Pakistani businesses or in one way or the other. So they are also able to get the right set of information, due to which we believe that they can actually get their tasks delivered and done without getting exploited by any unwanted challenges. So, so we are actually, this was the overall structure of how your Munshi is designed. That it can actually do the sort of big data analytics of the law. It to just to put it in the layman terms, that it can actually analyze the law and can help you understand that how this law can work in your favor or against your matter. So this is the high level structure of the your Munshi.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, this platform has been very beneficial to legal professionals. So my question is going to be from Sir Adil. So, Sir Adam, sir, being a co-founder, what was your role in developing such software?
As far as my role is concerned, Vikas Bhai gave a brief overview of how this idea got generated and how we all sat together and we developed this idea. My journey to to starting this platform began back in 2023. Uh, I wrote a book called ChatGPT for Lawyers when ChatGPT came into emergence in 2022 November. And luckily, that book got a success in the US and it became a bestseller on Amazon. So from that, I accidentally met through a Facebook group to these wonderful people, including Vakas Bhai, Imad Bhai, we have Amir Bhai, we have Abdul Manan, we've got Harim, and we've got all these wonderful people. So we together generated this idea. So as far as my role is concerned, for developing this, the biggest challenge while developing your Munshi was on collecting the data and the source of data. कि जैसे कि आप सब लोग जानते हैं कि जितना भी डेटा अवेलेबल है दैट इज ऑल हार्ड कॉपीज and we don't have digital PDFs for all the judgments starting from the 50s to till the 2025. तो हमें बहुत ज़्यादा चैलेंज आता था पाकिस्तान लॉ साइट पे जितनी भी जजमेंट्स पड़ी हुई हैं that is all protected with JavaScript. You cannot copy it, you cannot download it, and it's unethical to copy it. Unlike our competitors जिन्होंने कुछ कॉपी किया वहां से, but we were strong and strict on our morals and principles, and we are also in discussions with the PLD. बट हम फिर गए डायरेक्टर आईटी ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास, हम लोग गए लाहौर हाई कोर्ट, हम लोग गए सिंध हाई कोर्ट, हमने बार काउंसिल्स को अपने साथ लिया एंड वी स्टार्टेड कलेक्टिंग डेटा जिसमें हमें डिजिटल कॉपीज में भी हमें डेटा मिला है, बट जितनी भी हार्ड कॉपीज मिली हमने उसको फिर ओसीआरस लगा के उसको डेटा को एक्सट्रैक्ट किया, एक एक जजमेंट को हमने योर मुंशी के अंदर फीड किया, फिर उसके ऊपर हमारी मॉडल ट्रेनिंग हो रही है जो अभी भी हो रही है। सो फिर हमने उसके कुछ आफ्टर वी गॉट द डेटा फिर हमें ट्रेनिंग के ऊपर भी काफ़ी चैलेंजेस आए, क्योंकि आपके सामने के कुछ जजमेंट्स जो हैं वो जो है यू कुड सी कि वो उसको इंटरप्रेट करना इज़ नॉट एन इजी जॉब। और जहाँ पर हमारे ये डिस्कशन में एक मैंने क्वेश्चन भी देखा है बाबा वली की तरफ से आया रिगार्डिंग द बायस ऑफ द ऐप, सो वी आल्सो हैड टू इंश्योर कि जी आवर एआई प्लेटफॉर्म डज नॉट परफॉर्म्स इन अ बायस्ड वे कि वो कोई और आंसर दे और इट हेलुसिनेट्स बिकॉज हमारा जो यूएसपी है द यूनिक सेलिंग प्रोपोजिशन फ्रॉम चैट जीपीटी, क्योंकि जितने भी अटेंडीज हैं आई एम श्योर वो ये सोच रहे होंगे कि जो काम चैट जीपीटी कर रहा है तो व्हाट्स द बिग डील इन योर मुंशी में क्या बड़ी बात है, इन्होंने भी वैसा ही बना लिया होगा। Our biggest USP from ChatGPT is कि ChatGPT is not trained on Pakistani laws and it's not trained on Pakistani judgments. आप लोग अगर केस लॉ रिसर्च कर रहे हैं तो और ChatGPT से कोई सवाल करते हैं तो it gives you fictitious answers, it gives you hallucinations, it gives you case laws that don't even exist. तो योर मुंशी को जो हमने जो है हमारा जो रोल था इसको डेवलप करने का, आप इससे कोई भी सवाल करेंगे it will give you the right judgment, it will not give you a fictitious answer, and if your munshi does not know that judgment or it's not trained on that it will simply say no, वो आपको मना कर देगा। सो ये हमारा चैलेंज था एंड दिस वाज आवर रोल। मैं अपना तो नहीं कहूँगा कि मेरा ये सिंगल रोल था, वी आर अ टीम एंड हम सब ने बड़ी मेहनत की इस पे एंड वी आर स्टिल वर्किंग ऑन इट, वी आर ट्राइंग आवर बेस्ट टू मेक इट as better as possible for you all people.
Okay, thank you so much. So, sir, can you briefly tell me, as a practicing lawyer, what gaps or inefficiencies in the legal profession motivated you to co-found your Munshi?
देखें जी, चैलेंजेस की बात करें लीगल प्रोफेशन में तो आई थिंक मैं अभी स्टार्ट करूंगा तो हमारा एक हफ्ते भी वेबिनार चले तो दैट वुड बी शॉर्ट बिकॉज अनफॉर्चुनेटली वी रैंक द लोएस्ट इन द जुडिशल सिस्टम इन द वर्ल्ड। हमारा रैंक सबसे नीचे आता है तो अगर हम चैलेंजेस को लेकर आए तो बट एज फार एज जो योर मुंशी और टेक्नोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट जो हमारा टॉपिक है उससे रिलेट करें चैलेंजेस को, सो वी आर वेरी मच बिहाइंड फ्रॉम द रेस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। एक जो है हमारी जो जितना भी लीगल इंडस्ट्री है आप उसको बेशक प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिस को कह लें, आप पब्लिक सेक्टर को कह लें, हमारे कोर्ट्स के निज़ाम को कह लें, दे आर वेरी मच शाई फ्रॉम अडॉप्टिंग दी टेक्नोलॉजी। आप देख लें जी, आप इस्लामाबाद हाई कोर्ट की वेबसाइट पे चले जाएं और आप बेशक सिंध हाई कोर्ट की वेबसाइट पे चले जाएं, अब जाके आपको कुछ डेटा मिलना शुरू हुआ है और आपको कुछ जजमेंट मिलना शुरू हुई हैं। पाकिस्तान लॉ साइट वाज द ओनली साइट जिसकी एक मोनोपोली थी जिस पे हम केस लॉ रिसर्च के लिए जाते थे, और जिसका भी आप सबको ही पता ही है कि नोबडी लाइक्स द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड द यूजर इंटरफेस ऑफ द वेबसाइट, इट्स नॉट वेरी इजी टू यूज। तो access to justice is basically a very huge problem for us lawyers and for the general public। जो एक प्राइवेट इंडिविजुअल जाता है किसी के पास, किसी वकील साहब के पास भी जाता है, अब वो डिपेंड करता है कि वकील साहब उसको सही गाइड कर दें गलत कर दें, ही डजंट नो कि उसको क्या लीगल एडवाइस मिली है। प्लस सिमिलरली हम लोग भी जब केस लॉ रिसर्च के लिए बैठते हैं तो हमें जी जर्नल्स में जाना पड़ता है, और जितनी भी प्रिंट कॉपीज में आप ढूंढें तो आपको पूरा पूरा दिन लग जाता है एक केस लॉ ढूंढने में। ये चीज़ें जो हैं इफ़ यू कंपेयर इट टू द रेस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, आप यूएस को ले लें, वहाँ पर जो एप्स आ गई हैं, वहाँ पे जो लीगल एआई में टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट है, जो काम हम दिनों में कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे सेकंड्स में हो रहा है। तो मेरे अंदर एक क्यूरियोसिटी थी और बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेशन थी कि व्हाई कांट वी हैव ऑल दिस इन पाकिस्तान। क्या हम लोग वही 50 साल पीछे दुनिया में रहेंगे? सो व्हाई कांट वी अडॉप्ट दीज थिंग्स? सो ये सारे चैलेंजेस, एक्सेस टू जस्टिस का प्रॉब्लम, ऑटोमेशन ऑफ द लीगल प्रोफेशन, ये सारी चीज़ें जो हैं ये बेहतर बनाई जा सकती हैं टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट से और टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडॉप्शन से। सो ऑल दीज चैलेंजेस लेट मी कि मैं भी कुछ करूं भाई, हम लोग भी अपना अपना रोल प्ले करें, सब मिलके करें। तो वहां से जी ये आया, और सबने मिलकर फिर हमारा जो सारे को फाउंडर्स बैठे, सारी टीम बैठी, तो वी डेवलप द आइडिया कि लेट्स मेक ए लीगल एआई प्लेटफॉर्म, लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर, लेट्स मेक केस लॉ रिसर्च इजी फॉर एवरीवन, लेट्स मेक केस ड्राफ्टिंग इजी फॉर मैनेजमेंट, लेट्स मेक the law firm CRM मैनेजमेंट। हमारा जो बेसिकली मैं आपको अभी इंट्रोड्यूस कर देता हूँ, हमारा जो नेक्स्ट फीचर आ रहा है, वी आर लॉन्चिंग अ CRM एंड ERP बेसिकली फॉर लॉ फर्म्स। जो लॉ फर्म्स जो हैं वो इंटीग्रेट करेंगी और वो अपनी इंटायर केसेस को मैनेज कर सकेंगी। तो हम इस तरह के बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स और टूल्स लाना चाहते हैं टू मेक लाइफ ऑफ अ लॉयर इजियर इजी इन पाकिस्तान।
All right, thank you so much. So I request you all okay, that we are going to take 10 minutes break and then we're going to restart our session at 5 sharp. So we're going to end this one and then we're going to restart at 5. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you to the speakers as well.
uh, either they are using either they are using chat gpt or they are using any other different ai platforms, but they are using it for primarily for the drafting purposes, because one of the major challenges that comes up with some commonly used ai platforms in practice is the hallucination factor. Is the the knowledge base which gets created on the run by the AI platforms. So that becomes one of the core issues. So just so that everybody knows, uh, Chat GPT itself claims that they do that their platform is hallucinating more than 50% of times. And that is a very dangerous thing to deal with, especially when it comes to law. Because one hallucination, and if we follow that hallucination in the application of law, that can end up in maybe bigger disasters. So this was one of the challenges which we were also facing. And we spent a lot of time, energy, and investment in resolving this issue. And Alhamdulillah, our platform, Your Munshi, is hallucinating, but not more than 0.1% of times. So this was one of the big achievements that we have made, because we have made it closed data platform, so that it does not get any information or knowledge from the internet. So whatever it responds to any query, it responds from the data set provided to it. And that is one of the factors which which make us sort of stand out of all the other AI platforms. So with this thing, Alhamdulillah, so now lots and lots of lawyers are using our platform, and every day our user base is increasing. So right now we have crossed more than 30,000 users on board. And with concurrent users all the time, the average number is coming out to be more than 8,000 users. And that is a very, very healthy number that comes out in terms of AI platform usage. So we are actually getting visibility in different parts of the world as well, in the areas where our visibility matters. So recently, just because of this achievement, we have been awarded by Google in terms of the infrastructure that was not supposed to be available for Pakistan. So we are the first ones who have convinced Google to make that infrastructure available for Pakistan. And Alhamdulillah, we got that, and right now government is also getting the um, uh, you know getting on a path to get that infrastructure officially inducted in Pakistan. So with that thing, we believe more and more law professionals will be getting on board, because the benefit that we are providing is shorter time to case resolution, shorter time to getting yourself prepared in terms of standing before the court. And then while you are standing before the court, the discussion can take any kind of turn. And in those terms, you can quickly ask your munshi in terms of getting the counter arguments and getting the right set of knowledge there and then to counter those arguments which you are facing in the court. So maybe judges would ask certain questions for which there may not be anything which was prepared earlier. So with your Munshi, you can actually get things done there and then within moments to answer the honorable judges on their queries and to counter the arguments of your fellow opponents. So this is how lawyers are using it, and this is how their lives and their work is improving by every day which is passing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vakas. As you mentioned, your Munshi is very helpful for drafting. It is very much helpful, as I personally use your Munshi for research or drafting purposes. But you also mentioned that AI can, that your Munshi can generate arguments or cross arguments to present these arguments in court. How do you address concerns about data security and confidentiality in legal tech solutions like your Munshi?
Right. So a very pertinent question, I must say, and I must appreciate that being a law professional, you've prepared very well on the technology subject. So yes, this was one of our another key concerns, that how do we make sure that information which is being discussed on your Munshi platform, it remains confidential. So as a matter of our design, we have designed your Munshi in a way that it does not publishes or pushes any information to internet, and it does not receives or collects any information from the internet. So that is one of the key features that we have ensured, that none of the information which is being used, like for example, there can be any kind of personal issue which is being discussed and which must not go out on the internet, because it's like for example, if I ask any of my personal issue, any legal challenge, I would ideally not want it to want it to be published on the internet so that the entire world makes use of it or makes fun of it. So we have made sure that none of the information goes out on the internet and none of the information comes in from the internet. So the internet is used only for the access of our system for the users. Rest, all the queries that are being asked and all the responses that are being generated, they are kept very safe in our servers and in our infrastructure, and we are putting in all the right technical security measures in place to make sure that none of the information gets copied or even gets published on the internet. So all the right set of security measures, yes, we have made sure that what are currently available best practices for data security, we have already implemented that.
Thank you so much, sir. That was mostly asked question by our audience. So, next question is for Mr. Adam. So, sir, can you please tell me that how do you think that legal tech tools like your Munshi will change the way lawyers approach research, case management, and client interactions?
देखिए जी जैसे कि मैंने एक पहले brief overview दिया था about what these tools do and how we can make things easier. We can make life of a lawyer easier. So using your Munshi to get started with, first of all मैं तो आप सबको ही invite करूंगा कि sign up today, start using it and start learning on how to use it effectively in your practice. और आप खुद figure out करें सबसे पहले as a learner कि आपको वो ये क्या क्या फायदे पहुंचा सकता है. I'll tell you the key features of our tool which we have developed so far, and we are coming up with new features. The first, जैसे I'll repeat, is case law research. आप उसको अपनी case law research के लिए यूज़ करें। आपकी जितनी भी केस ड्राफ्टिंग है, आप उसके लिए यूज़ करें। आपने एप्लीकेशंस ड्राफ्ट करानी है, आपने कोई बेल पिटिशन की एप्लीकेशन, आपने बेल एप्लीकेशन ड्राफ्ट करानी है, आपने रिट पिटिशन ड्राफ्ट करानी है, तो वो सबका आपको एक टेम्पलेट बना कर दे देगा। आपने टेम्पररी इंजंक्शन की बनानी है, कोई स्टे ऑर्डर के लिए एप्लीकेशन बनानी है, तो क्राफ्टिंग के लिए यूज़ करें। आप उसको केस एनालिसिस के लिए भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं, आप उसको प्रिडिक्टिव जजमेंट के लिए भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, देर इज़ अ केस पर्टेनिंग टू 489F, किसी का चेक डिसऑनर हुआ हुआ है, एंड आप एक ब्रीफ से वन पैरा में जी फैक्ट्स ऑफ द केस नरेट करें और मुंशी को आप बताएं जी, ये एविडेंस उसमें प्रोड्यूस हुआ हुआ है, और ये जो है काउंटर पार्टी ये कहती है, एंड यू गिव मी अ प्रिडिक्टिव जजमेंट के बेस्ड ऑन दीज फैक्ट्स, कि तुम्हारे ख्याल में योर मुंशी बताओ कि इसका क्या फैसला होगा। तो योर मुंशी का आपको एक टेंटेटिव जजमेंट अपने हिसाब से बता देगा कि बेस्ड ऑन द एविडेंस मेरे हिसाब से एंड बेस्ड ऑन द केस लॉस, ये आपका जो है फैसला आ सकता है इसमें। तो यू कैन यूज इट फॉर प्रिडिक्टिव एनालिसिस। देन जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि हमारा लीगल ईआरपी का फीचर आ रहा है, जिसमें हम डिफरेंट लॉ फर्म्स को और अपनी पार्टनर लॉ फर्म्स को एक सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोवाइड करेंगे जिसमें कंप्लीट केस मैनेजमेंट होगी, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम के वो पूरे अपने केसेस अपने क्लाइंट्स के अपलोड कर सकते हैं, जो डेट्स आएंगी एडजर्नमेंट्स वगैरह जो सारी उसमें मार्क कर सकते हैं, डिजिटल बेसिकली डेटाबेस बना सकते हैं, उसमें आप यार मुंशी को इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। यू कुड यूज इट फॉर एनीथिंग। मैं जो हूँ अपने लिए जो यूज करता हूँ योर मुंशी का, मैं इसलिए तारीफ नहीं कर रहा क्योंकि आई एम बीइंग द को फाउंडर, बट मेरा कल ही एफएसटी में केस लगा हुआ था, एंड जज साहब ने मुझे एक सवाल किया, मैंने उसी वक्त जी मैं बैठा था, मैंने कहा जस्ट गिव मी 5 मिनट्स, मैंने अपना फ़ोन खोला और मैंने उस वक्त उसको प्रॉम्प्ट दिया रिगार्डिंग दैट एफएसटी मैटर, और मुझे बेसिकली बैक बेनिफिट्स के ऊपर एक आंसर चाहिए था जो मुझे नहीं मिल रहा था, कि एफएसटी के केसेस में जी बैक बेनिफिट्स मिलते हैं कि नहीं मिलते, अगर इन केस अगर कोई क्रिमिनल केस चल रहा हो किसी एम्प्लॉय के ऊपर। तो मुझे युवा मुंशी ने उसी वक्त केस लॉ प्रोवाइड करके दे दिया और मैंने रिटर्न आर्ग्यूमेंट्स प्रिपेयर करके जज साहब को दे दिए। तो दे आर डिफरेंट वेज वी आर, जो आप लोग खुद भी इनोवेट कर सकते हैं कि आप लोग किस तरह यूज़ कर सकते हैं। मैंने तो आपको की फीचर्स बता दिए हैं, बट नाउ इट्स योर जॉब। इवन आप इसको अपनी पढ़ाई के लिए भी कर सकते हैं। आप उसको पूछ सकते हैं कि जी पाकिस्तान में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लॉ के क्या की प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, वह एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कैसे वैलिड होता है, कैसे इन्फोर्सेबल होता है। इट कैन ऑल्सो बिकम योर लॉ ट्यूटर। सो जस्ट थिंक ऑफ क्रिएटिव वेज ऑफ हाउ यू कैन यूज इट और उससे आप फायदा उठाएं। और जैसे आई एम नॉट ब्लफिंग, और मैं कोई मतलब आई एम नॉट शोइंग ऑफ द प्लेटफॉर्म। हमें एक बहुत ही सीनियर लॉयर से जो है फीडबैक मिला है, जो उन्होंने बताया कि जहां मैं एक क्लाइंट को हैंडल करता था दिन में, अब मैं 10 क्लाइंट को योर मुंशी की हेल्प से कर रहा हूँ, एंड ही इज बी मेकिंग गुड मनी। सो जस्ट थिंक ऑफ वेज। मैंने आपको बता दिया ये कर सकता है, नाउ इट्स योर जॉब टू टेस्ट इट आउट कि आप इससे किस तरह फायदा उठा सकते हैं।
Thank you so much, sir. I have personally used it as well for a lot of cases for legal research purpose, and it has been really great so far. So, can you give us any examples that how your Munshi has been used by different lawyers and law firms so far, and how the response has been by the lawyers and law firms?
देखिए जी, आफ्टर वी हैड आवर लॉन्च इवेंट इन इस्लामाबाद एंड इन कराची, तो वी हैड मोर देन 30,000 यूजर्स ऑन आवर प्लेटफॉर्म। और हर किस्म के ही सवाल उस पर अब आ रहे होते हैं। हम उस दिन वैसे तो हम लोग डेटा प्रोटेक्शन उसमें है, द इंफॉर्मेशन बीइंग आल्सो इज प्योरली कॉन्फिडेंशियल, बट वी कैन सी द प्रॉम्प्ट्स फॉर आवर इंटरनल पर्पसेस कि क्या किस तरह की क्वेरीज ज़्यादा आ रही हैं। तो वी वर अमेज्ड टू सी के फैमिली लॉ के हिसाब से क्वेरीज आ रही हैं, जनरल पब्लिक की तरफ से भी आ रही हैं, लॉयर्स की तरफ से भी आ रही हैं कि जी खुला की एप्लीकेशन कैसे ड्राफ्ट करनी है, कस्टडी के क्या में क्या राइट्स होते हैं, चाइल्ड के इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर जो बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द चाइल्ड पे जो जज जजमेंट देता है फैमिली लॉ केसेस में, उसके क्या केस लॉज हैं, क्या प्रेसिडेंट सेट हुए हुए हैं, जनरल रूल्स क्या हैं, एक्सेप्शंस क्या हैं। ये तो फैमिली लॉ हो गया। क्रिमिनल लॉ के हवाले से बहुत सवाल आते हैं, लोग डिफरेंट केस लॉज पूछते हैं रिगार्डिंग 489F की, बहुत क्वेरीज आती हैं, बेल के ऊपर बहुत आती हैं, डेफेमेशन के ऊपर बहुत आती हैं, साइबर क्राइम के इसके हवाले से बहुत सवाल आते हैं। तो कॉर्पोरेट के हवाले से भी काफ़ी आते हैं लोग। कंपनीज एक्ट 2017 आपको पता है कि बहुत ही कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव लॉ है, एंड इट्स अ वेरी लेंदी लॉ टू स्टडी, इट्स नॉट एन ईजी वन। तो कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर से भी लोग ये पूछते हैं। फिर लोगों के जो छोटे मोटे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स होते हैं वो योर मुंशी के ऊपर अपलोड करते हैं और वो पूछते हैं जी कौन सा क्लॉज इन्फोर्सेबल है कौन सा नहीं है, व्हाट आर द रिस्क इन अ स्पेसिफिक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। लोग इससे लीगल नोटिस तैयार कर रहे हैं। सो जो चीज़ हमने नहीं भी सोची हुई थी, पीपल आर डूइंग दैट ऑन योर मुंशी एंड वी आर वेरी इम्प्रेस्ड एंड वेरी अमेज्ड टू सी कि ये इतनी चीज़ों के लिए इस्तेमाल हो रहा है। सो बी इट फैमिली लॉ, बी इट क्रिमिनल लॉ, बी इट कॉर्पोरेट लॉ, any field of law, your munshi is being used for that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adam. Mr. Wakas, there are many lawyers who implement international judgments or laws just for the reference. As you mentioned earlier, your munshi is not available for international legal standards. Is there any plan to take your munshi to that side, like to that international market as well, or it is just for Pakistan?
Well, definitely. This was part of our strategy, and I was supposed to disclose it towards the end, but you've asked it. So we are right now in talks with different government officials across the world. We are in talks with Saudi government. We are in talks with UAE government, Qatari government. We are in talks with the British government and US government officials as well through our Ministry of IT, and we are actually working towards getting the information of international cases as well in your Munshi. So yes, it is definitely on the horizon. We are already on it, and we are establishing the official pathways to get that information on consistent and regular basis, not just one-off collection of data. So that is happening right now. And just before coming to this webinar, I was sitting with some of the Saudi government officials, and we were actually talking on this very subject. So we are being appreciated very much at various international forums as well. We have been invited to present ourselves at upcoming LEAP conference in Saudi. We have also been invited by the Qatari government to present Yo Munshi at one of their very big tech events. So governments are taking interest because right now there has been no single platform which has been designed for any specific purpose with specific data set. So all the AI platforms which we are experiencing these days all have been designed for the general purpose discussion with lots and lots of public information. And due to that, most of the AI platforms are not that much correct in terms of providing the right legal set of knowledge and all that. So what we have done is that we've made it very specific, and we have made it limited to a certain domain, not going out into any other thing. And one very important feature which stands us out is that any information which is not available in your Munshi, in our provided data set as well, it will not build up any hallucinated information. It will simply excuse and apologize so that it does not misguide any law professional or any user who is using it. So we've made sure that all the responses that it generates, it comes out from the provided information. And if that knowledge base is not available as yet, it will not build up any self-made stories to answer that. So, as you've asked on the international arena, yes, we are already working on it. We are following the certain, legal requirements to be fulfilled for international collaborations. Thanks to the government officials who are supporting us, who are working with us, almost on daily basis, and we are getting very positive feedback and responses from them. So definitely, we are trying that within this year. We are trying that first of all, we should be bringing in the common law, which is being regularly practiced and referenced in Pakistan. Then we are also working towards bringing in the Saudi and Middle Eastern and the GCC set of laws, which is being practiced over there, because most of the Pakistanis are residing in GCC as overseas Pakistanis, and they face lots of legal challenges there. And while sitting there, they face legal challenges in Pakistan as well. So we are trying our best that to engage with various international organizations, bodies, universities, and governments. So just to get the right set of knowledge in place, because we don't want to trust on the information which is on the internet, because it cannot be validated by anyone. So we are only collecting and getting and accepting the information which is validated by certain bodies and authorities.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vakas. It's very good to know like your Munshi is evolving at such a good pace. But I would like to ask you one question, that what challenges do you expect while developing such a international legal database in your Munshi?
Well, challenges will always be there, because reason being that, with the changing political scenarios of the international world and the global arenas, sometimes things do get difficult in terms of getting the access to information. Sometimes they do get very easy in terms of getting the right information. So yes, we do foresee certain challenges, and then there are certain technology challenges as well. We might not be able to access some of the online services at certain times in certain situations. Yes, that is one of our challenge, but it's beyond our control. We can only request the authorities to. In fact, we are already working with the relevant authorities to design a framework of access control if that needs to be done. And in that framework, all the necessary services must not get blocked in any situation. So yes, the things are on the horizon. Challenges are always there, and the major challenge that we face within Pakistan is the quality of data. It is so compromised. Uh, Unfortunately, the lots of the institutions, they are still working on the legacy framework of data management, very old school framework of data management. But definitely, with technology, it requires a modern framework of data management. So there is always a gap in terms of available data set and how it can be used for technology. So we are just trying to, bridge that gap in terms of bringing the available data set from the legacy old school model to the new transformed model for use by the technology platforms. Similarly, we have certain challenges in the international world as well. The first biggest challenge is the language barrier. Like, for example, if we deal with the GCC law, most of the law is in Arabic language. So, how do we make sure that the translation that we are doing from Arabic to English is correct or not? Similarly, if we are doing the Pakistan dealing with Pakistani law in GCC, how can we make sure that the Pakistani English law is translated rightly into the Arabic language? So yes, there are challenges. We are working on it. As of now, we are not sure that if we know the right solutions for that. But we are, every day we are putting in our efforts in terms of the research that, what best solutions can be there. We are engaging with experts around the globe, from different academic institutions, from various tech institutions, to help us resolve certain challenges that we think can be there. So right now we are in talks with Google and Meta, the parent organization of Facebook and Instagram. So we are in talks with their technical teams to address the problem of translations. So they are also working with us. They are also providing and extending their full support for us. We are also putting in all our efforts, and we welcome, all the audience if they can suggest anything that we can also follow. So we are doing all the research that needs to be done just to make sure that we come up to the right solutions before we jump into it. So yes, challenges are there, but definitely solutions are also there, and we are always looking out for the right solutions, and that is what we are doing.
Thank you so much, sir. So before we conclude our webinar and we move towards our Q&A session, I would like to ask both of the speakers one last question, that what advice would you give to the young lawyers or entrepreneurs who want to venture into the legal technology space?
Well, if you ask me, I can only say that make yourself open to embrace new technologies. Our only problem is that we are not comfortable in terms of accepting changes, because getting out of our own comfort zones, it's a difficult thing. And unfortunately, the way we have been brought up and the way we have been taught in our educational institutes, we are not given the enough exposure to accepting changes and how to accept change and how to make it work for us in our favor. So yes, we need to develop our social expertise in terms of accepting changes, adopting changes, and then moving along with that, and then quick learning. So for the entrepreneurs, um, the world is open for you. Don't get stuck in technology. My advice would be that technology is very easy to manage. There are thousand and one solutions for a problem out there in technology space. But look out for the right problems to be addressed. Our issue is that we are too obsessed with technology that we miss out the opportunity to identify the right problems. As a result, we are not able to translate our initiatives into positive business propositions, and that results in overall, downfall. So we have to look out for the problems rather than for the technologies. So similarly, this is what our aim as well, that we are not obsessed with AI technology. It is the available tool for today. Tomorrow there may be any other technology, which comes out with a much better expertise. So we'll move to that technology. So we are not married to AI. We are just using it to address a common problem of a common citizen. So this is the I guess this is my advice as well, and this is the bottom line of our success so far.
Thank you so much. And Sir Adam, what are your thoughts on that?
My quick advice would be on this कि जैसे आपने कहा कि what would be your advice for the legal professionals who want to enter the legal tech market? I think there is no option, not just it's not a choice, it is mandatory. Every future lawyer needs to study and enter in this legal AI world. क्योंकि अब आप देखें जी एआई एजेंट्स का आगे दौर आ रहा है एआई में इतनी डेवलपमेंट्स आ रही हैं बाहर आप देखें दे आर प्लेटफॉर्म्स जहां पर आप एक 1000 पेज कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी डाल दें तो विद इन अ कपल ऑफ सेकंड्स वो सारे क्लॉजेस रेड लाइन हो जाते हैं ट्रैक चेंजेस हो जाती हैं क्या क्या हो जाता है सो आप देखें आगे एआई विल रिप्लेस लॉयर्स एंड इट डेफिनेटली विल रिप्लेस दोज लॉयर्स who do not know how to use AI. But AI will not replace those lawyers who know how to use AI. तो ये एक आगे जाकर जो है in a couple of few months it will be a requirement for everyone to use it. जैसे आज से 30 साल पहले जो है इंटरनेट का जब एवोल्यूशन आया तो पोस्ट ऑफिसेस बंद हो गए और पोस्ट ऑफिसेस की जॉब्स चली गई क्योंकि ईमेल ने उसको रिप्लेस किया Similarly, a lot of you could say जैसे Elon Musk कहता है boring jobs could be replaced. I don't consider this as a boring job, but he meant the easy to do jobs जो कंप्यूटर पे बैठ के होती हैं और हमारे लीगल प्रोफेशन में तो बहुत सारे इन हाउस टास्क हैं जो एआई रिप्लेस करेगा. So if you want to stay up to date in the market and you want to save yourself from this storm coming up, मेरी honest advice ये है कि start embracing legal AI. इसको सीखें इसको चलाएं गेट अपडेटेड विद द लेटेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म्स नॉट जस्ट योर मुंशी हमारा प्लेटफॉर्म भी यूज करें बट जो ग्लोबली चीजें ऑफर हो रही हैं वो भी करें अगर आप नहीं करेंगे एंड वंस यू एंटर द प्रोफेशन यू आर नॉट वेल वर्स विद इट क्योंकि एवरीवनस गोना डू इट एंड इफ यू डोंट डू इट so that would be a big problem. So this is my quick advice.
Thank you so much. So we're going to move towards our Q&A session. So there is a question that has been asked by Mr. Shayan. Um, AI can be inaccurate at times. How do you tackle it?
Yeah, so this is a very interesting question, and as I just explained that the AI can be inaccurate, and that inaccuracy is called as hallucination, right? So what we have done is we have controlled the hallucinations by controlling the access of our AI platform to the raw information of internet. So whatever it answers from the provided legal data set that we have trained our AI model on. So that's why on our platform, inaccuracy, it may be there, but not more than I can very confidently say it is not more than 1% of times. But still, we recommend and we encourage everybody to do make a quick validation if you can of all the AI platforms, including your Munshi, on whatever information you are getting from it.
Okay, thank you so much. And there is another question asked by Mr. Umar that AI in research or gathering evidence as well as providing in court, judges or opposing counsel may require explanations for how AI derived or analysis was generated, which the lawyer may not fully understand. Wouldn't future lawyers become dependent on AI for cases? What is prohibiting general public to get access and present their case without any legal representation? Do you believe that in the foreseeable future, with enough time, AI would be adapt and evolve enough that courts might not require lawyers to represent cases in person?
Well, that's a very, very valid question, and definitely we can see there must be, some time in the future where robotic lawyers will be standing, and I can just stand behind that lawyer as a litigant. I can just connect a cable to my brain, and robotic lawyer starts talking about my thoughts and everything. So yeah, that may happen in future, but for now, the most important thing is that any litigant can represent himself provided he has the right set of knowledge and expertise to handle the challenges of court, right? Because doing the legal research while sitting on your desk and then presenting arguments before the court are two different things. So that is why that this profession developed into lawyership over a period of time in the past. That not everybody is well familiar on how to handle the regulations, procedures, processes of the courts which are happening there and then before the judges, right? So me, trying to be a macho man and going into the court myself, I might end up getting back with a bloody nose from the court because I don't know how to deal with the courts. I can be I can become an expert on how to prepare the case documents and how to write my notices or anything, but I don't know how to present those facts before the court. So yes, lawyers will always be there. They cannot be replaced, but the lawyers who are using and the petitioners who are using AI can actually get their matters resolved very quickly as compared to the lawyers and petitioners who are not using AI. Because they will be people who are not using AI, they will be doing more hit and trial, right? But the people who are using AI, they will actually be directing the court in the right direction towards their favor. Because courts have to follow the directions set by the lawyers before them, right? So if you set the direction quickly and you set it with the right set of knowledge base and right facts and figures, why not courts will be judging in your favor?
So, thank you so much, sir, for answering the question. So, there is another question asked by Mr. Wali earlier. He asked this question. So, I think this question was from Sir Adam. So, sir, with the rise of technology, how can we ensure that marginalized and undeserved communities, especially in developing countries, gain equal access to legal services?
Shaji, very valid and very interesting question. And I would like to give an update about this, about for the access of justice and legal information to marginalized community. That, mashallah, say yesterday, your Munshi has partnered with Legal Rights Forum in Pakistan. That is a legal aid society, and they will be using your munshi for the same purpose कि सिंध में जितनी भी मार्जिनलाइज्ड कम्युनिटी है और इंटीरियर सिंध में जो रूरल पॉपुलेशन है और वहाँ के जो लॉयर्स हैं जिनके पास एक्सेस टू लीगल इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, थ्रू with the help of our partner legal rights forum, we will be providing legal information to the marginalized communities over there. Similarly, इसी तरह जो आपका सवाल है, जहाँ तक legal information being provided is becoming easier with the use of AI, तो ये ना सिर्फ हमें फायदा पहुंचा रहा है, इनफैक्ट मार्जिनलाइज्ड कम्युनिटीज और पूरे ग्लोबल रीजन को ये फायदा पहुंचाएगा। सेकंड, हम जो जितने भी ओवरसीज पाकिस्तानीज हैं एंड दे हैव बीन लिविंग देयर फ्रॉम पास्ट 1 decade, 2 decade, 3 decades, सबकी यहाँ पर प्रॉपर्टीज होती हैं, सबके फैमिली के इश्यूज होते हैं। दे डोंट हैव एक्सेस टू गेट इन टच विद द पाकिस्तानी लॉयर्स, वो वहीं पर ही बेस्ड होते हैं एंड दे डोंट नो द पाकिस्तानी लॉज, even though they are using your Munshi and similar platforms to get the latest information, they are getting access to justice and they are getting access to legal information. So in this way, jitne bhi legal AI platforms hain, including your Munshi, it not only helps us but it will also help the marginalized communities.
Just to add to this, Adam Bhai's point, as he just said that we have just partnered with LRF. So we are actually establishing a complete infrastructure in place on ground to to facilitate and help the people in very far off remote areas where they don't have any access to the courts comfortably, access to the quality lawyership comfortably. So we are developing that infrastructure with a certain network of partners to become more and more accessible in very remote areas. And just to add to this point, we are right now currently we are working to bring your Munshi in 5 different languages. We are working to bring your Munshi in Sindhi, Pashto, Balochi, Punjabi, and Urdu, so that people in the remotest of areas they can actually get access to the right legal knowledge in their local languages.
That would be really helpful, Mr. Vakas, I'm sure. Thank you to both our esteemed speakers for sharing their insights on how technology is transforming the legal profession and the role of innovative tools like your Munshi in this transformation. It's clear that legal tech is not just a buzzword, but a game changer for the industry, offering efficiency, accessibility, and new ways of approaching legal practice. To our audience, we hope this session has been informative and thought provoking. If you have any additional questions or would like further clarification, please feel free to post them in the group. Our speakers will be happy to engage and provide their expertise. Thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to continuing this important conversation about the future of legal tech.